For more than 50 years, Marvel's Blade has been more than just a slayer of the undead, but a boogeyman's boogeyman, the thing that makes ghouls and monsters lose sleep. For decades, Blade has been the ultimate force standing between humanity and the bloodthirsty vampires of the Marvel Universe. First introduced in Tomb of Dracula number 10 in 1973, this iconic character, created by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan, has dedicated his life to hunting down the undead. Armed with an array of deadly weapons and enhanced by his unique vampiric lineage, Blade has become a nightmare for creatures of the night. A human-vampire hybrid with the strength of both species and the weaknesses of neither, Blade strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies, and for good reason. But while Blade's reputation as a fierce vampire hunter is well known, many of his most powerful abilities remain hidden beneath the surface. Over nearly 50 years of comic book history, Blade has showcased an impressive array of skills and powers that set him apart from other heroes, and even from the vampires he hunts. In this video, we'll explore 9 of Blade's lesser-known abilities that prove there's much more to this legendary daywalker than meets the eye. Before we go into our video, we have a small request. If you enjoy our content, kindly support us by subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you for your support. Blade's origins. Blade, whose real name is Eric Brooks, had a difficult start in life. He was born on October 24th, 1929, in a grimy brothel in Soho, Great Britain. His mother, Tara Brooks, sought refuge there after Blade's father, Lucas Cross, who was part of an ancient secret group called the Order of Tirana, was falsely imprisoned in Latveria. Tara faced complications during childbirth. In a cruel twist of fate, the doctor who arrived to help her was actually a bloodthirsty vampire named Deacon Frost. Frost attacked Blade's mother, draining her of her blood and killing her instantly. However, the infant survived. During the assault, Frost unknowingly passed enzymes into the unborn child, transforming him into something extraordinary, a dhampir, a unique blend of vampire and human. This infant, named Eric Brooks, would grow up to become the vampire hunting legend known as Blade. Fueled by a desire for vengeance, Blade made it his life's mission to destroy Deacon Frost and every vampire like him. Raised in the tough streets of Soho, Eric trained himself to physical perfection, developing the strength and agility of an Olympic-level athlete. He also showed an unusual talent for wielding edged weapons, earning him the nickname Blade. One fateful day, Blade encountered an elderly man being attacked by vampires. Without hesitation, he intervened, distracting the bloodsuckers long enough for the man to kill them with a silver sword. That man was Jamal Afari, a skilled vampire hunter and musician. Recognizing Blade's potential, Afari took the young boy under his wing, teaching him the art of vampire hunting. In the live-action films, this mentor figure was adapted into the character Abraham Whistler. Through years of rigorous training, Blade honed his abilities and built a fearsome reputation as a deadly vampire slayer, feared by any vampire, including Dracula himself. But there's more to Blade than just his combat prowess. His unique vampiric bloodline grants him abilities far beyond those of a typical human. Over the years, Blade has proven that his powers and skills are far deeper than what meets the eye, making him not just a hunter, but a force of nature that vampires would do well to fear. So, let's dive a bit deeper and find all the secret tricks the dreaded Daywalker has up his leather sleeve. 1. Immunity to vampiric weaknesses. True vampires are among the most terrifying creatures to ever walk the earth. Their supernatural strength, speed, and endurance far surpass anything a human could hope to match. However, they also suffer from several well-known weaknesses. Sunlight, for example, can reduce a regular vampire to ashes in mere moments. Silver burns them, negating their ability to heal, and garlic repels them. But Blade, as a Dhampir, is immune to these weaknesses. Thanks to his unique hybrid physiology, Blade can walk in broad daylight without harm, earning him the nickname Daywalker. While he once had a slight sensitivity to sunlight, even that was cured after being bitten by the vampiric anti-hero Morbius. Blade is also unaffected by silver, meaning he can heal from injuries that would be fatal to other vampires. This makes him especially deadly in battle, as weapons that would cripple or kill a typical vampire barely leave a mark on him. Second, regenerative healing. When you're named Blade, you're bound to find yourself in a lot of fights. And for Blade, those fights are brutal. From savage battles with bloodthirsty vampires to showdowns with superhuman foes, Blade takes more than his fair share of hits. But while a normal human would be left broken, Blade's enemies soon discover that no wound is deep enough to keep him down. Much like Wolverine, Blade possesses an extraordinary healing factor. His body can recover from injuries that would be fatal to others, healing wounds at a supernatural speed. Thanks to his unique vampiric immune system, Blade can purge toxins, viruses, and infections faster than any human ever could. He has survived falls from planes, crashes through buildings, and even a direct hit from Thor's mighty hammer, Mjolnir. For a brief time, after an encounter with Morbius in Peter Parker, Spider-Man number 8, Blade even gained the ability to regrow lost limbs. Though this power was eventually phased out, the idea of a vampire hunter who could regenerate entire body parts was terrifying enough to make any vampire think twice before crossing him. Blade's regenerative abilities make him almost unstoppable, because no matter how badly he's hurt, he always gets back up, ready to fight again. Third, ageless immortality. Time might age us all, but Blade stands as an exception to that rule. Born nearly a century ago, Blade remains in his physical prime, showing no signs of slowing down. While other heroes retire or fade with time, Blade continues to battle the undead as fiercely as ever. His secret? A nearly ageless body that defies time itself. Though he's human in part, Blade has inherited the longevity of a vampire, aging at an excruciatingly slow pace. At over 70 years old, Blade still looks like he could easily run through an army of vampires without breaking a sweat. His body doesn't just slow down the clock, it's built to last for centuries. This extended lifespan has granted Blade not only the strength to fight, but also the wisdom and knowledge to become a master vampire hunter. Over decades, he studied vampiric lore, mystical arts, and combat techniques that make him one of the most dangerous and experienced hunters on Earth. This immortality isn't just a gift, it's a weapon. With every passing year, Blade grows more dangerous and his enemies more fearful. After all, time is the one thing you can't outrun, unless you're Blade, the immortal Daywalker. 4. Supernatural perception. Vampires are masters of the shadows, notorious for hiding in dark corners, abandoned castles, and forgotten places where no one dares to look. Hunting them down is no easy task, unless you're Blade. Thanks to his unique vampiric heritage, Blade has an extraordinary gift: enhanced supernatural perception. This ability makes him a predator unlike any other, able to sense danger before it strikes. Blade's senses are sharp as a blade itself. He can see with perfect clarity in total darkness, pick up sounds beyond the range of normal human hearing, and detect threats from incredible distances. But what truly sets him apart is his mysterious sixth sense. With this ability, Blade can instinctively sense the presence of supernatural creatures, even when they're disguised or hidden. It's an eerie talent that allows him to see through the deception of his enemies. Whether it's a vampire masquerading as an innocent bystander or a threat lurking just out of sight. With this heightened perception, Blade doesn't just hunt vampires. He stalks them, tracking them down even when they think they're safe. Hiding is futile when Blade is on the prowl, and no creature of the night can stay hidden for long. 5. Mental Fortress. One of the most feared weapons in a vampire's arsenal is their ability to control minds with a simple gaze, turning their prey into helpless puppets. But when they try to sway Blade, they quickly realize they've made a fatal mistake. Blade isn't just resistant to mental attacks. His mind is a fortress that few can even attempt to breach. Thanks to the unique enzymes flowing through his bloodstream, Blade possesses an iron will and an almost impenetrable defense against mind control, hypnosis, and mental manipulation. Vampires may be able to mesmerize ordinary humans, but Blade brushes off these attempts with ease. Even more impressive, Blade can resist psychic attacks from telepathic mutants, a skill that makes him nearly untouchable in a world where mental manipulation is a constant threat. Though not entirely invulnerable, Blade's mental resistance gives him a huge edge, especially when facing off against vampires who rely on trickery and mind games to overpower their victims. His focus is unshakable, and his enemies quickly realize that the only way to defeat Blade is through raw force, because they won't be outsmarting him anytime soon. 6. Master Swordsman. When you name yourself a Blade, you better live up to the title. And Blade does, spectacularly. He isn't just a vampire hunter with a cool nickname. He's a master of edged weapons, especially swords, and few can rival his skill. Vampires may have fangs, but Blade's got a blade for every occasion, and he wields them with deadly precision. Over the years, Blade has faced down hordes of vampires, often without sustaining a scratch. His weapon of choice? A beautifully crafted teakwood sword, engraved with powerful religious symbols that cut through vampires like butter. But this is just one tool in his deadly arsenal. Blade has wielded everything from adamantium swords to magical blades forged from mystical texts. He's so proficient that, on one occasion, he donned the garb of a ronin, a masterless samurai, proving his expertise in ancient forms of combat. When Blade enters a fight, it's not just about brute strength. It's about skill, finesse, and mastery. With a sword in hand, he becomes a whirlwind of destruction, cutting through enemies faster than they can blink. His precision and control make him more than just a hunter. He's a one-man army with a blade that cuts deeper than steel. 7. Stealth and infiltration. Blade may be a ferocious fighter, but he's just as deadly in the shadows. As a master hunter, stealth is one of Blade's most essential skills. Whether he's hunting down vampires in their own lairs or sneaking through the most secure strongholds in the Marvel Universe, Blade's ability to move unseen is nothing short of supernatural. Thanks to his vampiric physiology, Blade can slip through enemy defenses like a ghost. He can't be captured on camera, doesn't appear in mirrors, and doesn't leave a trace behind. His acute senses and supernatural agility allow him to outmaneuver even the most advanced security systems, making it nearly impossible to detect him until it's too late. Before his enemies realize he's there, Blade is already in position, ready to strike. But Blade's stealth is more than just sneaking in and out. He's a calculated infiltrator, able to outthink his foes and use their own terrain against them. No place is too fortified, no target too hidden. When Blade is on the hunt, not even the darkness can protect his prey. 8. Magic resistance. In a world filled with supernatural horrors, black magic and dark spells can be as dangerous as fangs or claws. But for Blade, magic isn't something to fear, it's just another obstacle to crush. While many of his enemies rely on ancient sorcery to gain the upper hand, they quickly learn that Blade is no ordinary hunter. His blood doesn't just protect him from vampires, it also grants him an uncanny resistance to magic. Blade can shrug off most low-level spells and dark incantations like they're nothing more than annoyances. Whether it's a curse meant to cripple or a hex designed to stop him in his tracks, Blade pushes through, seemingly untouched. His resilience to the mystic arts makes him a nightmare for sorcerers and dark wizards who think they can use magic to overpower him. Though he's not entirely immune to more powerful spells, it's still no easy task to cast magic that will phase the Daywalker. This resistance adds another deadly layer to Blade's arsenal, making him a fearsome opponent in both the physical and magical realms. When he faces enemies who rely on sorcery to fight, Blade doesn't just survive, he thrives, turning their spells into wasted efforts as he closes in for the kill. 9. Beyond human shapeshifting. Blade has always been a force to be reckoned with, but one thing he never had was the ability to shapeshift. Until now. In the explosive 6th issue of Blade's 2023 run, written by Brian Edward Hill and illustrated by Lee M. Ferguson, everything changes. After accidentally unleashing a nightmarish new villain, the powerful Adana, Blade finds himself in desperate need of help. With no other option, he turns to his eternal nemesis, Dracula, for guidance. Dracula, known as a master of shapeshifting, reluctantly accepts Blade as his apprentice. He pushes Blade to tap into something far more primal, urging him to break free from the limitations of his human form. But the real game changer happens after one brutal sparring session. Dracula offers Blade a taste of his ancient blood, setting off an agonizing transformation that unlocks a terrifying new power. Blade now possesses the ability to shapeshift, taking on forms that make him an even more deadly predator. He's already turned into mist and a fierce demonic wolf. But these are just the beginning. This newfound power suggests that Blade might be awakening something darker and more monstrous within himself. As he continues his war against the dark forces of Adana, this shape-shifting ability might become his most dangerous weapon yet. The only question is, how far will Blade go to harness this power, and what will it cost him? That's it for today, folks. We'll see you again with another video. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to hit like and subscribe.